Hi everyone, it's Marcia Martin, the Heart Healer, and I am really excited that we get to talk today about getting to the source of the problem, because those of us who have grown up in the West have gotten the impression that if you just treat the symptom, that it will go away. But what we find when we really do that deep spiritual work is that, hey, that's not what's happening. The problem is still there, or it's surfacing in another way. So today we're really going to get serious about discovering the source of the problem, the underlying problem and its cause, so that you can do what you need to do in order to move forward. And the other thing that they shared with me that I didn't really think about until they mentioned it, and I'm referring to my guides, my helpers, they were telling me that, the energetic realm is not fragile. We don't have to worry that if we go in there and really look at something that's standing in the way, that something else will break or that will be broken beyond repair. We are not fragile. Any of our bodies are built to be resilient. That's the physical body, the emotional body, and the spiritual body. They are resilient bodies. So don't be afraid to go in and do the work that you need to do. Be loving in your approach. Don't get out the whip and try to beat yourself up. That just doesn't work. But be loving and compassionate, and do what you need to do in order to let go of those things that are holding you from your dreams, from your joy, from your happiness. I guarantee you, if there is something that you're holding in your heart, something that you really desire, and it's not coming into your life, it's because somewhere along the way, you were told or you learned that you were not worthy of receiving this thing. So anytime it tries to come in, it hits this block of resistance that says, oh no, you can't have that. You're not worthy. And then we begin making up all these stories or creating these events that become the symptom of the unworthiness. But let's take a look at what my helpers have shared with us. And then if we have time, I want us to go into our energetic fields and pretend that we have a wide tooth comb and that we're just combing out the energy. It's a wonderful practice to get into, something you can do on a daily basis. Just comb through the energy. But always, it's more important to hear from each one of you if you have a specific problem or situation that you feel we could help you address today, or that you don't feel that you've gotten the answer from listening to what my helpers have to say. So you first, and then if no one wants to volunteer, we will, as a group, do some smoothing out. It's kind of like what a bird does. First they ruffle up all their feathers, and then they smooth them down so they get the most out of that feathering adornment that they have on there. Not only is it waterproof, it holds in heat. So it has wonderful value, but it is completely valueless if it's ruffled. If their feathers are all jangled and ruffled, the water can get in and the warm air can escape, so they have no protection. So we are going to unruffle our feathers so that we make sure that we are flowing in alignment with this beautiful energy of unconditional love that's pouring forth from Source to help us move ever higher. Now let's take a look what my guides have to share with us. Dear ones, While you still have the benefit of this new year energy as well as the partial solar eclipse energy, and if you have been having some serious, gosh, I don't know what's wrong with me moments, this is really intense energy. That's why we're doing this today, to make sure that you're making the most out of what's available in terms of energetic output. So we want to encourage you to dig deeply into your spiritual essence. This means that you begin looking past the surface attributes and train your eye to look at the energetic configuration. Don't stop at the physical mass that represents the surface level of your being, but instead go to the more finely tuned and delicately orchestrated energetic body. Understand that although the energetic is considered the finest layer, or the creative layer, it's not fragile. Just as a spider web is made up of individual strings of a delicate composition that once joined together proves to be incredibly strong, so is the energetic body composed of the fine filaments of energy that are often undetectable by the physical eye, but no less strong for being finely wrought. Some of you are able to see the energetic body. Others, that's not the gift that you brought in, but it doesn't matter whether you can easily see the energy around a person or around yourself, or you just have to assume that it is there. It is always there, and it's more important that you understand the strength represented by the energetic body than that you spend a lot of time trying to be able to see it. Because when you place your attention on the energetic, you're not addressing a fragile aspect of yourself. Despite its delicate appearance, your physical hand can appear to move right through that energy, so it looks like it has no substance. However, you can dig deep. You can move things around, push others out of the way, and be quite forceful about how you approach and deal with your energetic self. But remember, when they are saying, hang on, I'm trying to get sitting on one of those physio balls. I have to get better situated. Okay, when they are saying you can be quite forceful, it doesn't mean that you go in with an iron fist and start beating yourself up for all the things that you did wrong. But it does mean if you encounter a resistance point that you're not afraid of it. You go up to it and say, what are you doing here? Why are you here? What are you trying to teach me? What do I need to do in order to release you? I know you're here for a reason, and instead of running away in fear because I think that you're powerful and I'm not, I'm going to recognize I am the most powerful being in my own life, and I can easily solve this situation with this point of resistance. Once I know why it's there and what I need to do in order to move it along. That's how you approach with loving, forceful energy. Just force, just brute strength. No, we want loving finesse, working with it. There's never any reason to push and try to have a battle. It's not a battle of wills. It's understanding, hey, I don't need this anymore. It's not serving me. It's safe for you to hold an image of yourself of how you want things to be and to take necessary steps to get there. No damage occurs when you hold yourself accountable. When you question family or societal beliefs that no longer feel good or refuse to trod the well-worn path in favor of stepping out on your own and following the rhythm of your own heart. I am not encouraging you, nor are your guides encouraging you to just throw away everything your family represents. They are merely suggesting that you must do what feels right to your heart if you're going to experience happiness. If you chose to be born into a family that had very strict religious values, and your heart said, I don't agree with this, I find it very uncomfortable, and I feel that it has limitations, you would not be disobedient if you were to say, I'm choosing to follow my own heart and worship God in the way that feels best to me. Now, perhaps on the other side, you were chose to be born into a family that had absolutely no religious affiliation or understanding, and you decided to be quite orthodox in your faith. Again, if that felt good to you, it would be appropriate for your life journey. It's never appropriate for you to try to impose your belief system on someone else, but it is appropriate for you to do that which feels good to you. That's growing. It's never about how it looks on the surface or how it appears to another, but it is about how what you're thinking is making you feel. It's your energetic being that has to be in right alignment with the divine, not someone else's. Now let's take a moment here and really hear that. Not someone else's. That means your partner, whether it's a romantic partner, a business partner, whatever, doesn't have to have the same perspective on something that you do. You have to respect each other's belief systems, but they don't have to be the same. They merely have to work for you. However, if you find that the other person's belief system is causing you a tremendous amount of anguish, you need to examine why that could be happening. What are you holding on to about their belief system that you need to let go of? They should not be able to affect you in that way. You should be able to look at them and say, oh, I get it. That's what you believe. However, I'm going to hang on to my own belief over here, and we can get along just fine. You do not have to have conversations that are religious or political with people whose views different from you. Have a different conversation. Honor that they believe one way and you believe another, and have another conversation. So therefore, what may have worked for another is not always going to be the ideal for you. So many of you awaken to the realization that you cannot support the beliefs and traditions of your family, and then wrongfully believe that this represents a failing on your part. But we already discussed it's okay as long as you're not doing it just to rebel. Don't be silly. Don't do things just to be different. Follow your heart. We want you to attend to your energetic beingness and bring forth that vibrational offering that feels best to you. When you are feeling your best, you will be in alignment. Now, this is always true. I've had people say to me, but how about those people that are hurting other people and they say they're having a good time? They are deeply tortured inside. They do not feel good. They are doing crazy, unacceptable things in order to pretend to themselves that they feel good when they do not. You cannot feel good and hurt another person. It's really impossible if you're being honest with yourself. We can lie to ourselves. So if you feel good, that should be your ruler, then you're in alignment with God. To do this successfully, you must be willing to dive deep into the inner landscape of your energetic beingness. When you move into the interior of your being, go with a compassionate heart but a firm hand. When you encounter points of resistance or places where the energy has become snarled and tense, you need not back away in fear. Instead, walk confidently up to the energy that has become stagnated and begin sorting. Each energetic thread represents a new stream of thought, for each strand of your personal web was created by thoughts which in isolation may be limited, but once joined together become a powerful web capable of bearing tremendous weight. So just to make that really sink in, let's take a look at that. You may have one thought in isolation. I'm hungry. Okay. As long as that thought stays by itself in isolation, you probably will not get up from whatever you're doing at the present moment and go and get something to eat. But if you are truly hungry and perhaps just not bored, then you will begin attracting other thoughts. Your stomach may begin growling in protest. You may really be feeling like, wow, I've got to get something to eat. And it becomes a powerful urge to go and feed yourself. This is what they mean by once the thoughts join together, they become a powerful web capable of bearing tremendous weight. Now, your thoughts have become so strong that they are actually able to get you away from whatever you're doing and push you into the kitchen or into a restaurant or whatever it may be where you can feed your body. Now, that probably took a lot of persuasion if you were busy with something that you enjoyed doing. If you were bored or you just wanted something to occupy your time, then it didn't take much of a nudge. But let's say you're really excited about the project that you're working on, and then you decide, wow, I'm hungry. It's going to take a lot of energy to push you up from whatever you're working on and get you to pay attention to feeding yourself. But thoughts joined together are capable of doing that. You won't respond to that first thought of I'm hungry, but once you've got a cascade of thoughts going through your mind, you're going to get up and take care of that. So as you examine each individual strand, pay close attention to the intersections, the places where the strings of thought join. If the juncture is free-flowing and the energy is able to move smoothly, then you should examine its places of connectivity. Does the energy support the ideas that represent love, joy, and peace? This is your benchmark question for always. If you want to know, am I in alignment? Do I feel good? Does what I'm thinking keep me in love, joy, and peace? Do I feel uplifted? If you can answer those couple of questions in the affirmative, then you know you're in alignment with and connected to the divine. However, if you trace the strand of thought to a dark or murky place, then you've attached to the ego mind, and this energetic offering will eventually lead to death and destruction. Now, I'm going to explain that in just a minute, but something just popped into my mind, and I want to share that with you. When you tell yourself things like, well, I'm going to go on a diet or an exercise plan or something like that, and you don't want to, this is not an exciting thing for you, you're automatically placing yourself out of alignment, because just the thought of deprivation or doing something that's going to cause you pain takes you away from the place of love, joy, and peace. You're not feeling uplifted, you're feeling burdened. So remember, when you want to change a habit, you want to speak to yourself in ways that are encouraging, that will allow you to maintain that divine connection. So instead of going on a diet, I want to feed my body nutritious foods. I want to feel great. I want more energy. Things like that give you that peaceful, loving feeling and train you to automatically, without thought, go for the more nutritious choice in food. And if it's a case of overeating, you would automatically eat less so your body doesn't feel so weighed down. Now, back to this comment about death and destruction. This is so important. What follows next, I want you to really pay attention, because this caused me a great deal of pain in my early life, and I work with people every day that this is continuing to cause really tough pain. So listen up. They just said, when you've attached to the ego mind and this energetic offering, it will eventually lead to death and destruction. However, when you're in the energetic state, you pass from the literal or the physical to the figurative or the etheric, and your vocabulary must do the same. Please do not apply literal terms to the energetic body. That is not going to work. When we tell you the ego brings with it death and destruction, we're not referring to literal death. This is because death cannot occur to the spirit, only to the flesh that returns to the energetic form, and also because the energetic is the creative point from which the physical is formed. So you cannot apply laws that work in the physical to the energetic body successfully all the time. Sometimes there's crossover. But when we're talking about your vocabulary, you've got to be really careful when you are reading something that was written about the energetic or you're channeling a message. Please, no literal. Ask, what does this mean? Therefore, when we speak of death and destruction by the ego, it refers to the death of an idea, a dream, a revolutionary new product or ideology that's trying to make its way into the world. Think about how many things you've let go of throughout the years because the ego told you, you're not good enough, you can't do that, or some other silly thing. The ego always tells you that you're something you're not. It tries to compensate for weaknesses with lies. If you are a weak-willed individual who boasts about accomplishments, trying to cover up your lack of self-love and self-esteem, then the ego is driving your vehicle. Now, I am not attempting to be political with this statement, but we need to understand. Our current president here in the United States has a very difficult time with self-esteem. There is constant boasting about accomplishments that may or may not have happened. If you are secure and self-loving, you will not need to constantly call attention to yourself. If the accomplishments were praiseworthy, you wouldn't need to constantly call attention to them because the good works you were doing would speak for themselves. So let's look at Mother Teresa, who established a worldwide movement and never needed to get up on stage and talk about how wonderful she was. It flowed through her. We could see it. She loved herself. She loved God, was in deep alignment with God, and the work flowed from her, as opposed to our president here in the U.S., who is not feeling self-loving and constantly needs to refer to things that have not happened, trying to make himself look like something he is not. So if, on the other hand, you were constantly hiding in the shadows, refusing to contribute, this is one side is the braggart, the other side is the one hiding, for fear of not being honored for what you believe, the ego would again be encouraging your behavior as a way to prevent your light from shining. So all of you, I'm calling you out, all of you who are not living up to your potential, as you don't think you're worthy, time to step into the light and say, this is who I am and this is what I've brought to share and I'm proud of it. And then simply go about doing your work. When you do your work on the energetic level and you gently but firmly untangle the threads that have become tangled as though you're running a comb through your hair, you'll find you have a greater ability to think more clearly and to spend more time in the higher vibrations of love, joy, and peace. We all have moments when our brain gets muddled. It doesn't always mean that there's a place of resistance. Sometimes we're just tired. But if you find anything is repeating over and over and over again, it's usually a point of resistance. It's worth going to look at it. Don't allow resistance points to deter you from tracing the energy to its origin. You must anchor yourself to the divine if you're to successfully elevate your vibration. You must begin thinking of your energetic body as a giant jewelry box filled with chains of various lengths, widths, and textures. Now, I recently moved and had to go through this. My jewelry got all tangled up I guess I put it in the box crazy, and as it got shifted around, it got all tangled up. And I had to straighten out all of the chains before any of the pieces were usable. When all of the chains are laid out in straight lines, it becomes easy to pick up individual pieces for use. However, when the chains lay in a tangled heap, knotted together, so that one is caught up in another, it becomes impossible to enjoy any of the strands because all of them have become compromised, tangled, and unwearable. Think of your energetic offering the same way. When your thoughts are bound up, chaotic, and bouncing all over the place, it's difficult to get a clear, productive thought, and even less possible to produce an action that will bring pleasing results. Don't let your thoughts dominate you. You're the one in charge. When you find them all knotted together, take action. If you will take time to go within, pass beyond the spectacle into the inner sanctum and look at what you've created there, you'll find answers to the questions, the reason why things are happening as they are, and what you can do about it. We are never without answers. We are often without the knowledge of how to get to the answers, but the answers are always there. When you're plugged into ego, you'll feel discord, chaos, and find yourself being unnecessarily resistant and difficult. If you're anything like me, you have moments where you know you're just resisting to resist, and not because there's a rational reason for you to do so. That's ego. Once you've straightened out your energetic strands and untangled them one from another, you'll be able to securely fasten your energetic being to the divine, and you'll find that you begin flowing in and out of situations with ease and grace as you continue to climb higher and higher into the place of love, joy, and peace. Flowing in and out. It's not going to be without challenge, and you wouldn't want it to be. but you will flow through it. It will not feel like, okay, I'm stuck here. There's a dam in the way. I can't move forward. I have no options. You'll be able to realize, hey, I'm holding myself stuck in this pattern. Let me go figure out why. You will be united with the divine, seamless in your being and purpose. So let's take a look now at what's going on. Star 2, if you have a question, star 2 to raise your hand, or if you have a specific issue that you're working on that you want help with. But first, let's just go over what they told us so we're really clear what we're trying to do. Remember, it's time to go beyond the surface and get serious about the spiritual. Now, a lot of you have written in to ask me about burning and pain in the chest area. First thing, absolutely, you must go to a doctor and check that there is no medical reason for this. I am not a medical doctor. I cannot diagnose any kind of symptoms. You must go to a medical doctor and inquire about that. However, those of you who have gone to medical doctors and have been told there's no known medical cause, it is your heart chakra that is opening when you have that burning in your chest. And that's what's happening in this energy right now. We're entering this phase of the heart. That's why this work that we do in the heart is so important. Old pain and trauma must empty out. But remember to fill it with unconditional love so that there's no room for the old stuff to come back in and cause you trouble. The energetic is a finely wrought body, but it's not fragile. So you can dig deep down to the source and you can release that energy that has become stuck, those stuck emotions. You can move the energy around. You can push it open like a curtain, a beaded curtain. You can push it open and say, hey, what lies behind that? What are you trying to cover up? And you will not hurt yourself. You can transform the energy. Energy is made to be transformed. You will not ever be successful in destroying it. It's not possible. But you can always transform it. And when you are doing that, call on Saint Germain. He is the greatest help at transformation possible. So we want to take advantage of this powerful clearing energy that we're in right now by examining all of our beliefs. What did you grow up believing? What does your family believe? What does your culture believe? What does your religious orientation believe? Any of those, take a look and see what feels best to you. If it all feels good, keep it all. If some of it feels stale and worn out, replace it with new loving beliefs that do feel good. Follow your true heart, not the heart that's been conditioned by society. We want to get to the true essence. You have to be in right alignment with the divine and not someone else. So always pay close attention to your God connection. Remember, it can work for someone else, but that doesn't mean it's going to work for you. So it's you that matters. In every relationship, you are the most important one because you're the only one that you can adjust. The other person needs to be paying 100% attention to their vibration, not to yours, to getting themselves right, just as you are. If both of you have concentrated on getting your vibrations lined up, then you're both going to be feeling magnificent and your relationship will be absolutely wonderful. Always enter within, with a compassionate heart, but a firm hand. So if you see, gee, I've had this belief that I know really isn't serving me for a really long time, but I've had it for a really long time and I don't know, I just think I'm going to hang on to it. Okay, that's just being bullied by your thoughts. That's not a compassionate heart or a firm hand. I've had this thought that's been bugging me that I've held on to for all this time, and I can see it's not serving my highest good. I need to let it go. That is compassionate and firm. You're not criticizing yourself. You're not blaming yourself. You're acknowledging what is and taking appropriate action. You want to follow each thread from beginning to end. As you encounter muddled thoughts, take the time to straighten them out. Don't ignore the mess. It will be tempting as you say, okay, I'm going to follow this thought to its origin. You might run into a roadblock, and part of you may want to say, okay, I'm done. I'm done. This is too much hard work. Don't do it. I just undid my Christmas tree, and as I was taking off the lights, I could see all these places where the lights had become tangled as they were going on, and my kids were doing it, and they just kind of left it. And I took the time to straighten it out so that next time when it goes on the tree, next year, it will go, hopefully, in a more organized manner. We won't have the confusion. But you got to take the time to straighten it out, or it just becomes a big lump. Make it easy for your thoughts to support each other. The more reinforcement, the stronger the thought. So here's one thing to remember. We've all been kids. We've all been in a group, and we've all been encouraged to do something that we wouldn't otherwise do if the other kids weren't egging us on. Now, that can have positive or negative. We can do something that we'll get in trouble for later. And this is not just as children, this is adults too. But most often it's kids, they're a big group of kids. Okay, let's go do this thing, and you're going to get in trouble. But you feel safe because, hey, there's a whole bunch of us, and I don't want to be the one that doesn't participate, and so I'll just go along. And before you know it, you could be swept up in something that isn't all that great and probably find yourself in trouble. On the other hand, you can feel yourself supported to try something new that you otherwise wouldn't have the courage to do. If the kids around you are saying, yeah, you can do it, I believe in you, come on, you can do it, you're going to try to ride your bicycle without training wheels, or something that otherwise would have felt really overwhelming to you. So allow your thoughts to support you by collecting thoughts that match what you want to achieve. Be quick to say no to those thoughts that are trying to be the naysayer if you want to do something really exciting in your life and you are feeling good about it. Also, but be quick to say no to the thoughts that are egging you on in a direction that you know really is either going to just be boasting and bragging and get you in trouble, or is trying to keep you small. If you're in a position where you feel that you need to brag about an accomplishment that probably won't happen, you really need to do work on how you feel about yourself, on loving yourself, on building up your self-esteem. You are beyond valuable. So please do not allow that thought to be in your mind. Ego is going to lead you into pain and heartache. It's just the way it is. Even if there is a temporary high, and sometimes we know we're doing the wrong thing, but whoa, I got away with it. It never lasts. If you are in alignment with the divine, it will feel uplifting, loving, and it will last. The goal that is a true heart connection, even if it's difficult at first, is to feel uplifted and inspired. Now, I recently saw a meme on, not a meme, but a little story on, I think it was Facebook, that was circulating it about a 4-year-old boy who recognized that there are some people in the world that don't have enough to eat and decided that he was going to do something about it. And he now spends time, his free time, making and then handing out sandwiches and drinks to people who do not have food. Talk about being in alignment with the divine. He's 4. He saw a problem, and instead of saying, I'm not good enough to fix this, which would have been ego, he said to himself, there has to be an answer and I will find it. That's being in alignment with God. That's saying, I recognize that there's a problem here because I may have a solution and I'm going to look for it. I'm going to do something about this. I believe I can and I will. And he did. He is out handing sandwiches out with his dad to people who have no food. So, if he can do it, we can address our dreams and fulfill them no matter what the ego says. The ego is a liar. Don't listen. And always remember, your heart's going to tell you the truth. Even when ego is lying to you and screaming in your ear, your heart's going to say, no, I don't think so. Listen to the heart. But remember to address the vocabulary. The spiritual is figurative, but the ego wants you to take it literally. The ego will be pounding the drum of, that's what it said and that's what it means. But that is not true. You're not going to be able to meet your goals if you start taking things literally when you are in the spiritual. It is a figurative, energetic resonance, and you've got to be what it is. It won't change for you. You've got to, as the adaptable being, you must change to be what it needs. So don't get caught up in the literal. Only the spiritual has eternal truth. So first of all, people write in and say things to me like, well, truth is truth. In a perfect world, that would be absolutely correct. However, we have decided that some things are true when there's absolutely no factual basis for that. So we have to be very careful that just because we say this is true, we are not just assigning a word, but we have actually done the fact checking or the heart checking to see how it feels. Anything that comes from God, anything that comes from your divine connection will feel uplifting and joyful. It will feel good to your heart. It could feel a little scary, like it's more than you think you're capable of, but it will still feel exciting and, oh wow, if I could only do this, it would be magnificent. That's a God connection. Ego would say, nah, you think you could do that? No. Are you kidding? Who do you think you are? Those are ego kinds of things. And I could feel, just even though I was playing, my heart was saying, oh no, don't go there. Your heart is going to be your truth meter. That's where the truth meter is located. It's right in your heart. So if you're scratching your head in wonder, saying, well, is this really true? There are two possibilities. The first one could be You don't understand what's meant. You took whatever was said literally, and it wasn't meant to be a literal statement. It was meant to be a figurative or spiritual statement, just like if you don't if you don't stay in alignment, it will be the result in death. It's not going to result in your physical death. It will make you feel as though a part of you has died because your divine connection is so vital to your well-being. So that's one possibility. Or the other possibility is the translation is incorrect. I have a lot of people write in about that. If you are reading, I know the Bible better than any of the other religious texts, and I know how much the Bible has been changed over the years and how many times it's been translated. I don't know about the other religious text if that is true for them as well, but I do know the Bible in particular has a history of being changed, pieces put in, pieces taken out, so literally changed, not the same document that it was in the beginning, and numerous translations so that words could be in there incorrectly. So if you're confused because someone said something to you that just you're not sure how to take it, first check in spiritually. Maybe I need to be taking this figuratively. Maybe I need to be looking to find out what this is supposed to mean to me. If that doesn't work, then try to get a hold of several different translations and see if you can figure out the problem there. And ask yourself. And if something feels off, it is off. So you might just have to let it go until you have further information. Ego tells lies, always tells lies, and it tries to compensate for weaknesses or to keep you small, to keep you off balance. So, let's pretend that we're riding a bicycle, a two-wheeler, for the first time without our training wheels. What's the most important thing that we need to remember? Stay balanced. Stay centered. Stay focused on what you're doing. Certainly when you're very new at riding a bicycle, you can't really look around because as you look around, you may be tempted to bring the steering wheel with you, and that's going to make your bike wobble. It's the same thing with your God connection. Stay centered. Stay present and focused. And if you really want to make incredible progress, get into the mindset of gratitude. So let's say you come home from work and it's been a long day and you walk into your house and there is water all over the floor. Apparently, somebody turned the sink on, or one of the animals turned the sink on or something, and it got stopped. There was a plate in the way, and the sink overflowed and flooded your entire floor. Now, this is not a joyous occasion. I don't expect you to jump up and down and say, oh, goody, goody, goody. But if you really want to be in charge of your spiritual well-being, you'll walk over, turn the water off, take the plate out of the way so you can get some water draining, whatever can go down the sink. You'll get out your mop and your bucket, and you will look for a reason to be grateful. Instead of grumbling and complaining, look for a reason to be grateful. If you look for it, you will find it. And when you stay in the place of gratitude, more often than not, if you spend 20 out of 24 hours in gratitude, you will see the most amazing change come in your life. opportunities, situations, people will be attracted to that beautiful light that is flowing through you. And then it will be easier and easier to find things to be grateful for, because they will really be happening. There will probably not be a sink overflowing when you come home from work. There probably will be wonderful things happening all of the time. And even when those things happen that don't feel so great, you'll be able to meet them with an improved attitude that says, okay, let me find the good in this situation. Or sometimes I say to myself, alrighty, I get it. I'm putting up some resistance here. Let me look at what I'm resisting, and I am so grateful for recognizing that I am in a place of resistance. Thank you, angels, for showing me that, so I can fix it. So even when things are going wrong, there can be a thank you, thank you, thank you, because if it was never pointed out to you, you may continue with this mindset and continue to go downhill because of it. So be in that place of gratitude as often as you can, looking for what's right. And remember, you don't ever need to be in a place where you're listening to the ego telling you you're not good enough, or that you have to make something up to make yourself something that you're not. You already are beyond perfect. You're wonderful, beautiful, and fabulous just the way you are. And you're just continuing to become better and better every day. Be the example of someone like Pope Francis, who just continuously does good works and doesn't need to have a press conference about them, or the Dalai Lama, or any of our other really incredibly powerful leaders who do wonderful works throughout history. Some of them have been political, some religious, some spiritual, some just beautiful earth angels who are helping others. When you are in alignment with God, you will be able to do that as well. So star 2, I haven't seen any questions so far. Star 2, if you have a question or you want to tell me about something that's going on and have help getting to the resistance point and moving through it. If not, we're going to do a little energetic exercise where we take a moment to comb out our energetic bodies. So, star 2, one last time. Okie doke. I want everyone to close your eyes. And let's use heart breath. Remember, heart breath is in through the nose, right into that midbrain psychic center, filling that area, filling that beautiful connector point so that we can easily connect with the divine. So in through the nose, right to the midbrain area, allowing the breath to energize that area, and then down through the chakras to the heart. I call it the rainbow chute, and allowing the breath to exhale from the back of the heart forward. This will begin allowing you to release resistance. So let's take a couple of heart breaths. As you take each breath, allow yourself to relax more and more deeply. Breathing in love and acceptance. Just letting go of, I'm not good enough. I'll never be able to. Or I'm not worthy. Breathing in love and acceptance. Breathing in through the nose and exhaling through the heart. Allow your entire being to relax. And now I want you to see yourself as an energetic body only. Become the observer. It will feel as though you're stepping outside of your physical body and you're able just to take a look, turn around and take a look at the physical body that you just exited. Now, you're not literally exiting the physical body. This is just a spiritual exercise. But I want you to look all through the physical body. Take a look. And when you find a place that either is pulsing, or perhaps it's kind of red, or you see a bulge in the physical body, take a moment to stop at that place. And now calmly, but with authority, walk up to that area. This is just stuck energy. And begin asking it, what do I need to know? Why are you stuck? What's preventing you from flowing freely? Just allow yourself to relax, asking the question, why are you stuck? What's preventing you from moving freely? Once you have your answer, and it can be, I'm afraid, I'm angry, I'm hurt, I'm confused, any of those. I want you to take a blanket of pink and gold light. This is simply unconditional love. And wrap it around the knot. And then say to the part of your energetic body that feels lost, confused, hurt, angry, I love and accept you. I love and accept you. I love and accept you. It's okay for you to relax. And you will feel a softening in your energetic body. As it begins to soften, I want you to become a mermaid. And for those of you gentlemen who are listening, a merman with long hair. And now pretend that you're sunning yourself on a rock in the ocean. So you have beautiful sounds, the ocean, the soothing ocean sounds are all around you. There's no discord or any sound that's out of order. Just beautiful harmonic sounds all around you. And in your hand is a wide-toothed comb. It can be made out of a beautiful shell, or it may just be the comb that you have in your shower. But its teeth are wide and strong, and they're very gentle. Begin running that comb through the energy. Take off the blanket of pink and gold light and just begin running the comb through the energy. Allow this energy to feel that it can straighten out, that it can flow freely. And once you have that little place that's been snarled up free, begin combing your entire energetic body. You may want to start from the head and go all the way down in one long sweep and do one entire side of your body, sweeping from head to foot. Just keep sweeping it down with your comb. Sweep the entire body, whatever you can reach. And then when you're no longer able to reach with one hand, put the comb in the other hand and continue to smooth out your energy. If you're having trouble reaching, use your imagination to see that hand moving from the top of your body down to your feet. Do the front, do the back, do the sides. Allow your entire body to feel. It will begin feeling like it's tingly. You can even create a comb for both hands and do it on either side at the same time. But it's best if you start at the top of your head, the crown chakra, and move all the way down so that you are opening a clear channel and from the divine. So you're connecting with the divine through the crown, and then you're anchoring yourself into the earth. So you are both centered and grounded and really available for beautiful divine communication without finding that you're wandering off into the ether. So combing out your energetic body. It may feel tingly. It may feel, just feels nice. But you'll feel, I sort of am getting angel tingles too as I pull more of the energy down from, let's do this. Let's extend it even further. Go to your higher self point, 10 to 12 inches above your head, and begin the combing from there. That will bring angelic, energetic energy into your awareness. You'll begin bringing in helpers to help smooth out your energy anywhere it may be stuck. So you have the assistance of the angels or anyone in the energetic realm that wants to help you with this. Okay, that was fun. You're all fixed up, ready for another week. This is Marcia Martin, the Heart Healer. Remember, if you are stuck, you don't have to do it by yourself. I offer a complimentary consultation so we can find out whether it would be beneficial to you to work with me to help you, to guide you, to coach you, to help you learn the spiritual principles and establish a better connection with the divine as we help you let go of all of the hurt and the pain that's gotten stuck in your heart, no matter what the cause. My specialty is helping people recover from sexual trauma. But if you are in pain, there is a reason, and we need to release you from that reason and from that energetic place so that you're free to move forward. So it's Marcia, M-A-R-C-I-A, at Marcia Martin, the Heart Healer. Or if you just want to be inspired, sign up for my mailing list. You'll get a daily inspiration as well as a way to connect for all these calls so that you can be here live with me, asking your questions and getting your answers and the help that you deserve. Also, I have wonderful classes that will teach you spiritual tools. So it's Marcia Martin, the Heart Healer, to help you find practical answers to your spiritual questions. Because life is better when you're in alignment. All right, everyone. Until next Wednesday, I'm sending you my love.